So now we have this elliptical region whose cross-sections, once again, are perpendicular to the x-axis, are isosceles right triangle, and the hypotenuse is in the base. So we got a lot going on here, okay? So one thing we know is that we have to do everything in terms of what? X. So the first thing we want to do is kind of figure out, I'm gonna jack up this triangle, I know, but bear with me. And just imagine that this is a right angle, okay? Just pretend. Okay, so everything has to be in terms of x, correct? So I need to solve this for y. Are you with me? Okay, so then solving this for y, I get 4y squared is equal to 36 minus 9x squared. So y is equal to 36 minus 9x squared divided by 4. Square root of all that. Okay? Are we good? That's ugly, but it's okay. And it's plus or minus. So what is going to be the length of this? This thing right here. So the square root of 36 minus 9x squared, I'm going to do something, don't freak out, over 2. All of this is in the radical, so I can take the square root of 4, which is just 2. Okay, I told you not to freak out. All right, so what is the total length of, so let's back up here. What is the area of this isosceles right triangle with base? What's the area of this isosceles triangle? The area is 1/2 base times the height. Well, do I know it's a right triangle, so I know the base, these both are base and height. Do I know this value? I know the hypotenuse. I know the hypotenuse is 2 radical 36 minus 9x squared over 2. That's the hypotenuse. Does everybody understand how I got that? Those 2's cancel. So that's my hypotenuse. I need to figure out these lengths. How can I do that? Because my hypotenuse is in the base. My hypotenuse is in this region. I'm told that. The hypotenuse in the base. So the hypotenuse is the distance from here to here. Okay? Now, how do I find this side? I know these two sides are congruent, so I don't want to call them x because we already have an x here. What do you want to call them? B? And I love Pythagorean theorem because I don't memorize all that 30, 60, 45 stuff in geometry. I just know Pythagorean theorem because it always works. So I know b squared plus b squared is equal to, the 2's cancel, the square root of 36 minus 9x squared. So 2b squared, is that wrong? Is that right? Okay? I have to square c. Yes, it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. All right, so then I get 2b squared is equal to this, which is just 36 minus 9x squared. Once I square that, right? So b squared is equal to 36 minus 9x squared over 2. Now, I don't actually need to know what b is. I need to know b squared. Because essentially, this equation is b times h. H and b are the same. So this area is essentially 1/2 b squared. Would you agree with me on that? So I just need to know what b squared is because this is my area. So my area is 1/2 b squared, which is 36 minus 9x squared over 2. Are you there yet? So our volume is going to equal to, I'm going to take out a fourth. Can I take out a fourth? The integral of 36 minus 9x squared, and I need you to tell me what are my limits of integration. -2 to 2. How could you tell that if I hadn't sketched it? That's a thought for you. Well, it's an elliptical. So to solve this elliptical written in standard form would be, I divide everything by 36 because I need this to be 1. So to be x squared over 4 minus y squared over 9 plus y squared over 9, that's a hyperbola, equals 1. And so this tells me the distance from the center to the x-axis, how long it is. So that's how we know it goes from -2 to 2. Yes?
What is area of an isosceles is 1/2 its sideways.
Yes.
So why did you?
Because if it's an isosceles triangle, isosceles right triangle, the base and the height are congruent.
But that's not the base of the hypotenuse.
No, this is the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is inside the base. You have to think of this triangle that I have here turned upside down with the hypotenuse lying here. The hypotenuse is not the same as the height. The height is perpendicular to the base, always. Okay? And then, okay, we would just finish that. Okay, I don't know the answer, but you can figure out the answer. The answer is 24. Okay. All righty. So